All right, so now that we have our button all working, it's disabled, it's showing the searching message. I mean, this was kind of the simple stuff. It's time to dive in into the actual Bluetooth meat. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to be able to set up Bluetooth. So let's go to our onCreate where we're setting up the list view, the status view, the search button, all that stuff. And we're going to take our Bluetooth adapter and we're going to say this should be equal to capital Bluetooth adapter dot get default adapter. Now with this in place, this will allow us then to go ahead and work with this Bluetooth adapter. And really at the end of the day, the thing that we want to do is we want to say Bluetooth adapter dot start discovery. And this will go out searching for Bluetooth devices. Now in order to get this to work, there's a little bit of code that we have to run here. And looks like for whatever reason, we're missing a permission here. So we're going to come back to that in a second. But, well, we've got the error message. Let's go ahead and just cover that now. So you can see we need to have the Bluetooth admin permission. So let's go ahead and open up our manifest here. And this is going to be a uses permission. So we're going to say uses permission. And we want Bluetooth admin, just like that. Okay, so once we've added that, we should see that error disappear. Great. The next thing that we need to do is we have to create something called an intent filter. So with this Bluetooth adapter, once we start searching for things, we're going to get a lot of messages telling us about, what sort of thing we got and, how we want to respond to it. And so if we create this intent filter, it can help us sort of manage what it is that we're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new intent filter that I'll just call lowercase intent filter. And let's give ourselves some space to type here. And this is going to be equal to a new intent filter. And with this, we just want to say what sort of actions it is that we're looking for. So we can say intent filter dot add action. And we'll go ahead and just, for example, type out Bluetooth adapter dot. And one thing that we can look for is action state changed. So we don't want connection state change. We just want action, all caps, state change. So that's one thing that we can look for. And I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste this a few times. We might not end up needing all of these, but I just want to have enough that we can work with. A big one here is we're going to do capital action found. So I'm going to have to type that out so that I can whittle that down. And that's not on Bluetooth adapter, that's on Bluetooth device. So Bluetooth device, we are looking for action found. Excellent. And that tells us whenever we found a new Bluetooth device. As far as the adapter stuff, we have to look now for action, and we want to do discovery started. And the last one is action discovery finished. Okay. So these are the different states that we're looking for. Look like I had, or actions, looks like I had an extra one, so I'll go ahead and delete that. But these are the different things that will tell us, hey, we got something back. Here's how you should, do you want to do something about it? Now, in order for this intent filter to work, we have to register it. So the step that we're looking for is to register receiver. And we're going to have to pass in a receiver object. And then we're also going to pass in this filter that we just created. And we called that our intent filter. So the next step for us is now we have to create this receiver. And so we're going to go ahead and do this up on its own. And so this is essentially just creating a property, but there's a whole lot that's going into this property. So in fact, let's just go ahead and do it right up here at the top. We're going to say private final, and we're going to be creating a broadcast receiver that we're just going to call our broadcast receiver, and we're going to set this equal to a new broadcast receiver. So with this, you can see we should automatically get this on receive function here, and this is basically saying, hey, whenever we get one of these actions, you need to decide how you want to take action. And so I'm going to go ahead and put a semicolon there for the time being. Let's just go ahead and see if we can't figure out what actions there are that we're getting. So I'm going to say string, and I'm going to call make a new string called action, and we're going to set that equal to the intent get intent there, dot, excuse me, no, we already have an intent here. We have a lowercase intent. Come on, Nick, you can do this. Intent dot, and then we want to do get action, and that's going to give us back that string. And with that, let's go ahead and just print it out. And so I'm going to do a log here. And what I'm going to log is the particular action it is that we're getting back, and we'll just go ahead and type in action there. So with that in place, let's go ahead and, well, we're not done here. We have this broadcast receiver, but then we have to actually go ahead and do something with it. So remember our register receiver, we're going to pass in that broadcast receiver, and then that should fix those errors. So now we're ready to go ahead and check this out on our device. So I'm going to go ahead and run that. Give Android Studio a second to pull this up. Let me get Visor ready to see this. So here it comes. We are going to have our app open up, and oh, we have an error. Let's go ahead and check that out. Let's dive into Logcat and see what we've got here. We're not seeing anything specific right now to our app. So let's go ahead and run this one more time. We're going to be paying a little bit closer attention here to see if we can't figure out. And look, now it's for Bluetooth Finder. Here we go. This is a nice looking error. So unable to start activity, component info, Java security, need Bluetooth permission. Okay, so we apparently have not asked for enough permission. So we did Bluetooth admin. I think we also need to go get just straight up Bluetooth. So we'll go ahead and ask for that as well. All right, let's go ahead and try this one more time. So we'll run this app. And here it is pulling up. We're going to keep an eye here on Logcat. And the app opens up without destroying itself. But I want you to notice what we have coming out here. And so we see that we get these actions, for example, found here. That means that it found some stuff and it's still finding some other Bluetooth devices. I mean, it's just, yours is going to look completely different from mine because it's, you know, finding things other than me. And look at that, we get a discovery finished there at the end. So that's telling us, hey, we went out, we started looking for things at the very beginning. It said discovery started. And then it's telling us down here that we have discovery finished it. And then it found some Bluetooth devices. So that puts us at a great position to know that we are getting back some info, but then we need to be able to pull the info from that and sort of handle everything appropriately. So I just want to do one quick fix here before we move forward, and that's that I want to make it so that when we have finished doing the search, that we can sort of give back the button, that we can re-enable that, and we'll get rid of the searching thing and maybe replace it with something that says finished. And so we're going to go ahead and in this onReceive, we are going to do an if statement. And the if statement that we're looking for is we want to check what the action is. So we're going to say if, and inside of our parentheses here, we want to compare the Bluetooth adapter dot, and we're going to check for the action discovery finish. Remember, that's the one that says, hey, we've finished looking for all the different Bluetooth devices. We're going to see if this equals, and then we want to pass in this action string that we had just pulled out. So we're going to go ahead and put action right inside of there. So if that's the case, that means we have finished our search, which then means we can sort of do the reverse of what we had here. So I'm just going to copy these two lines of code. I'm going to paste it inside of here. Instead of saying searching, it's going to say finished. And instead of this being false, it's going to be true. So then we can, you know, allow the user to hit that button again, which then makes me realize we've done all this work to create an intent filter and all this stuff, yet we want to register the receiver and we want to start this discovery when the user hits the button. So I'm actually going to cut this line of code and I'm going to move this to search clicked. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and try out the new app here. I'll go ahead and bring up Visor for this one. And we'll kind of have Logcat lurking here in the background so that we can see that as well. But we'll go ahead and get that view up. Here comes the app. So I'm going to hit search. Now it says searching. And eventually it's going to be every time that it, finds something inside of here, every time something's found, it should be updating the list view. That's going to come later. But we want to see that when this is finished, that this will be done saying searching, and we'll say finished, and that we can hit the search button. And look at that. It finished up, and now we could click the button and do this process again. So we are at a great point here. We're finding some information about Bluetooth devices around us. We realized when it's over, but we still have the task of being able to identify those particular Bluetooth devices and then getting them to show up inside of a list view. We're going to cover that in the next lecture.